Welcome back, dear children. Welcome to another session of our English class. Today, we are going to study our literature part. Lesson number 7, Down the Volcano, written by Jules Verne. Jules Verne was a French novelist born in 1828. He is best known for his adventure novels and his great influence on the category of science fiction writing. He is the second most translated author in the world since 1979. He is known as the father of science fiction. Down the Volcano. This extract is from Jules Verne's novel Journey to the Center of the Earth, published in 1864. Professor Lidenbrock discovers a coded message inside a book, which explains how one can reach the center of the earth. He takes his young nephew, Axel, and guide, Hans, along with him on the dangerous adventure. They reach a volcano and must now go down one of its craters. How will they do it? Let's see that.
Down the volcano. The real journey began. I had still not looked down into the bottomless pit into which we were going to lower ourselves. I could still either take part in the adventure or refuse to try it. Hans, our guide, accepted it so calmly that I felt ashamed at the idea of being less brave than him. I approached the middle chimney. It was 100 feet across, or about 300 feet round. I leaned over an overhanging rock and looked. My hair stood on end. I felt my head spinning and I grew faint. I was about to fall when a hand held me back. It was Hans. I had not dared much to look down into the well, but I could see what shape it was. Its walls were almost vertical and had many rocky projections. These were certainly going to make it easier for us to climb down. If we attached a rope at the mouth of the well, it would provide sufficient support. But the problem was how to untie the rope when we got to the bottom of the well. My uncle used a very simple method to get round this difficulty. He unrolled a rope as thick as a thumb and 400 feet long. First he dropped half of it down into the crater, then wound the middle of it round a block of lava, and finally threw the rest of it also down into the chimney. This way we could climb down holding together the two halves of the rope. When we reached the bottom, we could easily bring the rope down by letting one end go and pulling the other.
Now, having finished these preparations, let's think about the luggage. It will be split into 3, and each of us will tie a package to his back. I refer only to the breakable objects. Hans will carry the tools and a third of the food. You, Axel, another third of the food and the firearms. I will take the rest of it and the delicate instruments.
But what about the clothing and this great piles of ropes and ladders? Who will take them?
There is no need.
Why?
You will see,
replied my uncle without hesitating. On his command, Hans tied the unbreakable objects into a single packet, which was tied solidly together, and then he simply dropped it down into the vast hole. I heard the low howling sound produced by the movement of air as our luggage fell. My uncle, leaning over the pit, watched the fall with great satisfaction and stood up again only after he could not see it anymore.
Right. We are next.
My uncle attached the package of instruments to his back. Hans took the tools, I the firearms. The descent began in the following order. First Hans, then my uncle, finally I. We proceeded in deep silence, which was broken only by pieces of rock falling down. I went slowly and carefully. holding on to the double rope and using my feet to slow down. I was terribly afraid of losing support. The rope seemed too delicate to bear the weight of 3 people. I used it as little as possible, balancing myself on the lava projections with my feet. When one of these rocks happened to come loose under Hans's feet, he would say in his calm voice,
Careful!
Okay, children, now your turn to read your textbook carefully. Okay, this is time to say goodbye. See you tomorrow. Thank you and have a nice day.